more meaningful. This is News 9.
In the lane, around it all.
Oklahoma State's going to the Final Four.
From dancing to dunks, the Cowboys have stocked their arsenal and are ready for tomorrow night.
The countdown to the Final Four is on. The Pokes tip off in about 19 hours. Craig Day kicks off our team coverage live from the Riverwalk. And Craig, a little wet down there tonight.
Yeah, really wet here in San Antonio tonight. Despite the rain, though, the Riverwalk is absolutely packed. Many of the folks here are Cowboys fans, and this time tomorrow night, they will know whether the Cowboys play in a national championship game.
Even on a rainy evening in San Antonio, nothing can dampen the spirits of Final Four fans. The drinks are cold, and the excitement is heating up as we get closer to tip-off. They're enjoying all the fun the city has to offer, but basketball is never far from their minds.
The excitement down here is just unbelievable. We've been following the team all year, so it's really fun to be here for the Final Four.
And San Antonio is a great atmosphere to be in, and we're just happy to be here, and we're proud of our Cowboys.
A night of fun here on the Riverwalk is the finish to a busy day for many Cowboys fans. Many made the trip from Oklahoma to San Antonio today. Others spent the day cheering on the Cowboys.
Hundreds of Cowboys fans watched as the Pokes took to the practice floor in the Alamo Dome.
Both teams have a good defense, but I really think that we're going to come out and I think we're going to play two halves well rather than just the second half well, and that's what's going to pull us through.
It's pretty amazing. It's something I wanted to do for a long time and didn't get a chance in '95, but we're lucky and got tickets this year and couldn't wait to get down here.
While some were at the Cowboys practice, others practiced their jump shots at Hoop City, an interactive basketball event covering more than 200,000 square feet. But it's the Cowboys' hoops dreams that have fans excited as they count down the hours before the Final Four tips off.
I like our chances. You know, I don't think that anybody thought that we'd get here at this, you know, when the season started. But now that we're here, we've got just as good a chance as anybody else does.
Well, thousands of Cowboys fans are already here in San Antonio. Thousands more will arrive here on Sunday if the Cowboys win over Georgia Tech. And Amy, most of those fans don't have tickets. They're just coming here to join in on all the excitement. Those tickets are going to be hard to come by.
They certainly will. Just roll the dice and hope that you get lucky. All right, Craig, we appreciate your updates from San Antonio. Now, if you can't be in San Antonio for the Final Four, Stillwater is the next best place. Students and others are buying up lots of Final Four gear in preparation for the games, and they have their watch parties already planned.
We're just going to watch the game at our apartment. I have two roommates, and we're going to watch it with a couple of football players like we did for the other games. We can't break the tradition.
And if they win, this is a sneak peek of the shirts fans will be buying up. USA Screen Printing ran these off for us tonight. They will be ready to buy about 30 minutes after the game if the Cowboys win the national championship.
And just like USA Screen Printing, the governor of Oklahoma, Governor Brad Henry, hopes the Cowboys will win. He has a little wager riding on tomorrow's game, a bet with Georgia's governor, Sonny Perdue. If the Cowboys win, Governor Henry gets a basket of fresh Georgia peaches. If the Yellow Jackets win, the governor has to fork over some fine Oklahoma beef. Take a look at this. The sports animals set up and ready for the game. Dean Blevins joined Jim Traber and Al Eschbach live from San Antonio this afternoon. Tonight, Dean and John and the Blitz crew are in place and ready to join us live in 15 minutes with a special edition of the Final Four Blitz.
We have an update to breaking news. A large explosion in Broken Arrow. This is a story we've been following all day after large blasts ripped through a building. Seconds later, a thick black cloud of smoke rose over the city. As crews scrambled to the scene, Ranger 9 and Eagle Vision were the first to show us what was left. Since 6, Emery Bryan has uncovered new information in the investigation.
The flames shot out the roof of the building and smoke towered overhead. Firefighters worked to knock down the fire and protect adjoining businesses, but it was a hard job. The building that burned was warehouse space for Gibson Homes. The owner was welding inside and started a fire that spread to some fuel. It exploded.
We can verify that there was fuel of some sort that enhanced the magnitude of this fire.
Several people nearby saw the victim run out and warn others.
His shirt was completely burned off of him. It was burnt to his back. I mean, it was bad. He had blood coming down his face. I mean, it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Gibson. He looked pretty bad. I mean, his shirt was just, there was nothing existent, but just bare skin. It was kind of sad.
It took firefighters a couple of hours to get the fire under control, and they think they'll be here most of the night putting out hot spots.
The fire and explosion buckled the concrete walls of the building. Firewalls held up and protected 2 other businesses in the same building. 10 employees made it out unhurt. The man who started the fire was conscious and talking at the scene, but had serious burns. The explosion was felt for hundreds of yards, enough to get everybody's attention.
When I heard the explosion, I came running up the drive and saw the smoke.
Emery Bryan, News 9.
Now, the owner, David Gibson, is in a Tulsa hospital in critical condition with severe burns over 30% of his body.
Well, Amy, it's a first for Oklahoma County, possibly even for the state. Tonight, 3 Oklahoma City residents face a criminal charge related to cockfighting. It's believed to be the first case of its kind since the ban was passed in 2002. Kirsten McIntyre joins us now live with more on this investigation. Kirsten.
Alex, the district attorney's office filed a felony charge against each of those 3 suspects. They have yet to turn themselves in, but I'm told that could happen sometime this weekend. The investigation began January 29th at this home on Southwest 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. Here, animal control and police officers say they gathered evidence against the suspects, Mary Zarate, Fernando Zarate, and Juan Zarate.
The gaffs, the knives, and the various medical equipment and things that they need to raise the birds.
Not to mention the birds themselves. 76 hens and roosters were seized and are now considered evidence in the case. They're being held at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. According to a court document, Mary Zarate admitted to officers to fighting and owning the cocks and hens.
This is the first of this type of case to be charged in Oklahoma County and as we know at this point in the state.
Ironically, the charges come the same week the Oklahoma Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the cockfighting ban. Since voters passed the law in 2002, a series of court fights have challenged its enforcement.
We are prepared to take it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court if need be.
Sharon Miller says her organization isn't giving up on overturning the law. She believes Oklahoma can afford to enforce it.
Now, we don't have the facilities nor the money in this state to take away from our schools and everything else to turn around and take care of this problem.
Now, we also talked to the spokesperson for the Oklahoma Coalition Against Cockfighting. Cynthia Armstrong tells me the U.S. Supreme Court has never heard a case like this one, and she is confident the ban will not be overturned. Alex.
All right, Kirsten, we appreciate that. If convicted, the Zarates could face up to 10 years behind bars and face a $25,000 fine. The Zarates' attorney did not return our calls tonight.
Alex, 135 Cisco Foods employees have been walking the picket line for over a month now, making claims of unfair labor practices. But now they've taken their complaints downtown to Bricktown, namely in front of a number of restaurants who still use Cisco's food services. And as Doug Warner shows us, the workers are asking people to boycott those eateries.
Well, the members of the Teamsters Union 886 that we spoke to today wouldn't come right out and say it, but the flyers they're passing out sure does. It says, please don't eat at this restaurant. Right there in black and white. The restaurants, to say the least, aren't the least bit happy.
I'm not going to have some union strikers tell me who I'm going to do business with and who I'm not.
Jim Cowan, the owner of the Bricktown Brewery, says their tactics are heavy-handed.
I feel like they're trying to, threaten me by saying we're going to discourage people from coming into your business if you don't quit doing business with Cisco. Well,
that's threats.
It went from a little distraction as far as our customers is concerned to trying to alter who are being our customers.
Daiquiri's own manager, P.J. Mills, says they first took up residence on his front porch yesterday.
We want their situation to be resolved, but we don't think that we should actually be in this situation.
Between us and Cisco.
So we asked why then take their union complaints to the restaurants.
You can take it how you want to read it.
I want you to tell me what.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I've been given direct statement that I need to give, and I'm going to stick with that.
A statement that passing out these flyers is just another method to say they've been treated unlawfully.
We've had people watching us the entire time.
And those methods have created even more attention. They point out a nearby van they say has someone inside videotaping them on behalf of Cisco.
They're trying to catch us breaking the law.
So we looked, and there was a man with a camera behind those heavily tinted windows. These Teamsters say it won't stop them.
We'll be out here as long as it takes.
For some, however, it's already been too long.
When somebody hands you a piece of paper and says, don't go eat in this restaurant, and there's no reason for that, that gets kind of personal.
Now, Jim Cowan with Bricktown Brewery says Fridays and Saturdays make up about 60% of his entire week's business. And he says these methods the strikers are using could cost him dearly. Back to you.
All right, Doug. And the striking union members will get a chance to voice their concerns over alleged unfair labor practices again, this time during a labor hearing scheduled for April 20th.
Now less than 24 hours until the Cowboys take on Georgia Tech in the Final Four.
Dean and John are live, and the Cowboys are making some last-minute preparations. And Zach?
And despite how nice it was in central Oklahoma, some parts of the state saw nearly 4 inches of rain. We'll check that out and get a look at your weekend forecast coming up.
And much more local news when we get back.
More local, more meaningful. You're watching News 9 at 10.
Well, what a beautiful day. How about the weekend?
Yeah.
It was. Weekend is still looking good right now. In fact, pulled those rain chances out of there completely. It was fine across central Oklahoma all day long, but parts of the state saw some hefty rainfall totals. Look at this. This is from Doppler 9000 XL. We're looking at estimated total rainfall, and this took place over about a 6-hour time period between Hobart and, well, down into Greer County, around Mangum, and get a little bit closer in. You can see it's just the southwest of Babbs, just to the west of Roosevelt, south of Lone Wolf. Really aren't any surface measuring instruments, so we have to estimate it by Doppler radar. About 4 inches of rainfall here, and some of the indications are more like 6 or 7 inches, but sometimes when you have hail in there, it indicates more rain than actually fell. So this could be on the low end for some of these areas. A lot of heavy rainfall. They had a flash flood warning out for several hours, so this is the one very wet spot in Oklahoma for today. One good thing about not seeing the rainfall around here is a lot's going on for tomorrow and heading into Sunday as well. The bad news is we've got a real problem with the allergies, especially the tree pollen. Here's the way things look right now. All the rainfall is gone. Let's go to the maps real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Numbers for today, 49, 76. Again, we were dry for today. Tree pollen still very, very high. So many of you suffering miserably for today. A lot of folks are going to be outdoors. You're going to have to carry that relief with you heading into the weekend as well. But we'll have a dry weekend, it does look like, most of the state. Right now, temperatures 53 in Ponca City, already down to 45 over at Enid, 60 in Oklahoma City, 65, fairly mild down to our south and southwest, some thicker cloud cover in that part of the state, keeping temperatures quite warm. In the upper levels, here's what's going on. We've been talking about the storm system for a very long time, and it continues to just sit and basically stay in the same place across the southwestern U.S. The reason for that, this pattern that we're looking at is called a blocking pattern. This one upper low over the eastern seaboard, it's not moving very much, and it's keeping this one back to our west from moving at all. So it's just going to sit there and continue over the southwestern U.S., and as it does so, it's really going to give us the same kind of weather. It'll finally move across the area heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, and that'll bring our rain chances back up. So here's the way it looks. I'm going to run this right on through without stopping it. North to northeasterly winds throughout the period, and the rain chances south of the Red River for the most part, except for our far western counties. Your low temperatures for tonight, some lower 40s, mid-40s across central Oklahoma. Highs tomorrow, mid to upper 60s. We'll see more cloud cover for tomorrow, so it will be cooler than what we saw for today. Your rain chances, far western Oklahoma, 30% Guymon, 30% Altus. That'll be the first half of the day. After that, we should clear out. Here's your forecast, 61 by noon, 67 by 4 o'clock. Rain chances less than 20% in the metro. Better chances come when that storm system finally can move to the east. 40% on Tuesday and 30% coming up on Wednesday.
Hard to complain with that.
Nope.
We're getting a good weekend. All
Yeah,
right.
it looks good.
Hey, we are excited about the Cowboys in action tomorrow night. Get ready for the game. Our Blitz crew standing by live in San Antonio with extended team coverage next.